What's going on? We back again. It's your boy Juice Bundles, and this is the sound of hip hop.
I got a product you should know about. Finna have LA County on fire, got the whole hood showing out. A new concept, peep the process. I'ma break it down and put it in proper context. Get a 7-foot map with your set on it. Red or blue, it don't matter, you can flex on it. Long Beach, Compton and Watts, LA, Inglewood, every single block. Might catch a view with your local barbershop. Hang it up at the crib and you getting props. Collector's item for the chosen few. Go ahead and buy you one for the culture like you supposed to do. If you new to the town, you need a good map. I got one better, get you a hood map. Guarantee you it's worth it. Hoodmapsllc.com for the purchase.
Like I said, we back again. It's the sound of hip hop, and today we get into a new element of, what I bring to the table. Today I want to call this Jooce's Ratings. It's a part of the hip hop, part of the music part of the hip hop. And what I do is all the new albums coming out, I give grades and ratings. I don't do it for every genre. I only do it for hip hop albums. But I do it for every genre of hip hop album. So like anywhere from Jadakiss to, Young Thug. You know what I mean? So any one of those albums, I'll be rating or giving a grade to. And even though I haven't given a grade to every album that has come out this year, I've still been listening to them. So watch out for my awards at the end of the year too. The Sound of Hip Hop got its own awards. So with that being said, I want to get into two albums that have just recently come out. They both came out on the 19th of this year. So the first album we're going to get into is The Algorithm by Snoop Dogg. It's a Def Jam compilation album. It's got rapping, singing, and a mixture of both. So with that being said, I like to get into the album and grade off of a couple criterias that I have. So for the lyrics, as far as the hip hop part of the album, I would say, the lyrics aren't bad, but I would at least give it up to Snoop, because for the newer Snoop that we've seen probably for the last, 10 years, I would say that his lyrics are up to par. You know what I mean? From what we usually see, his lyrics are up to par, and the lyrics are not bad on this album, I would say. So for the next criteria, which is the beats, I think the beats were dope for the singing part of the album, but I don't really think they were dope at all for the rapping part. Now, for the singing part of the album, he had a lot of new artists on there. He had a new artist on there, Malaya. She has a song called Anxiety, which is very dope. You know what I mean? Check that out. He also had a song with, I want to say his name is YK Cyrus and himself, which is a singing / rapping song. It's a mixture, mulatto mix of the two. That beat was very dope, and that song is very dope. But for the rapping side, like just rapping, he has a song with Redman and Method Man on like a West Coast vibey beat. It didn't go well in my opinion. He has a song with Dave East and Fab. The lyrics was all right, but it didn't go well. The only song that he kind of did right as far as the rapping part it's a song with Benny the Butcher, Jadakiss, and Busta Rhymes. That's my favorite song on the album. It's called Murder Music. So with that being said, the beat selection for half the album as far as singing was pretty dope. You know what I mean? But I would say the beat selection for the rappers, it was too West Coasty for the rappers that he chose. That's just in my opinion. You know what I mean? That's what I'm grading it off of. So I think the next one is the vibe. You know what I mean? Like I would say half the vibe, like I said, was dope. The vibe of the beats and the vibe of the mood of the songs for the singing / melodic part of the album, which will be like singing with rappers on there or just the singers, because there was a lot of songs with just singing. You know what I mean? It's a compilation album. I thought those were pretty dope. The vibe for that music was pretty dope. And like I said, the vibe for the music, for the rapping part, I didn't think was dope at all. I think he kind of missed it. And I didn't understand that because even though Snoop is a West Coast rapper, he has a lot of experience and he's maneuvered through the game to, I think, kind of know better. That's just my opinion. So with that being said, with the features, I actually thought as far as the rapping features, he did a good job. He got a song with Redman and Method Man, like I said. He got a song with Dave East and Fab. You know what I mean? The only feature that I didn't kind of like for the rapping side was I didn't like my favorite song, Murder Music, with Benny the Butcher and Jadakiss and Busta Rhymes. In an interview, I want to say it was on the Breakfast Club, he said that Busta Rhymes hit him up and was like, yo, I heard this beat, I got to get on that song. I think it's just in my opinion, you know, no disrespect to Busta Rhymes or Snoop. I think in my opinion, he should have said, all right, cool. You know, let's see what's going on and we'll see what you could do. But when he heard the verse with them, like with them two, he should have cut that off. I ain't gonna lie. He kind of made the song at the end, like, I mean, this is just my opinion, kind of whack at the end. And Busta's energy didn't do good with Jada and Benny's verses. That's just my opinion. But the features for the singing part of the album or the melodic part of the album, I thought were pretty dope, man. All of them little singers that he had on there, especially Malaya. Malaya's gonna go somewhere. And I thought that was pretty dope, you know what I mean, as far as the features on the album. Another thing that I always have graded albums on. I've always graded albums as far as like it's 22 songs on the album. So one thing I always grade albums on is like how many songs did I like compared to how many songs on the album. And I would have to say, after listening to the album, I would have to say I maybe liked it 10 songs out of 22, which to me isn't very good. You know what I mean? Even if I liked 11 and you had 11 out of 22 on the test, you get an F. So I didn't think all the songs were dope like that, but I will list a few songs that y'all should look out for and that y'all should check out. It's a song by Malaya called Anxiety. It's pretty dope. The melodic, that's like she's just singing by herself. It's a song with I want to say his name is YK Osiris and Snoop. That's like melodic. You know what I mean? It's, you know, the singing with the rapping. And that was pretty dope. I liked it. That song is called Applying Pressure. Check that out. It's pretty dope. And my favorite song on the album is Murder Music. You know, I'm kind of more of a super hip hop head, super rap head. So I liked it that. But even though it was my favorite song, I wish they wouldn't have put Busta Rhymes on the song. Just saying, just my opinion. Not to say he was trash or anything. It was just that his whole vibe and his whole like animation didn't really go with theirs. That's just my opinion. And that's what I kind of based that on. So with that being said, I also base grading an album on how relevant the music is. And in my opinion, the singing / melodic side, it was very relevant. You know what I mean? And I'm going to just throw this in there because I graded on this too. It was very relevant and it was very original almost. It was like that soul centric, you know, R&B type flavor. You know what I mean? It was pretty dope and it was pretty original too. I also want to say it was pretty original for the rapping side. Like it had a lot of originality, but because you never really heard, you know, Fab and Dave East on West Coast beats or Method Man and Redman on West Coast beats. But even though it was an original sound, sometimes originality isn't good. You know what I mean? Just because nothing sounds like it doesn't mean that it's good. You know what I mean? Not to say their verses weren't good or anything like that. I just don't think that that went with that. You know what I mean? So it's like he gave you half an album. You know what I mean? It was like the singing saved the album. That's just my opinion. So, and that's why I was, for my next topic or my next subject, it wasn't well balanced, man. It wasn't well balanced, and I didn't like how the songs transitioned into each other. The only time I like how the songs transitioned into each other was when you had singing song after singing song, you know what I mean? Or singing song after melodic song. I didn't really like the transition of the album. I thought he would do a better job, but I bet you, him, working with the artists that he'll work with, in the future, I think he'll put together a better compilation, later. But yeah, I didn't like that about the album as well. And so with all that being said, if I had to give this album a total grade from everything I said, you know what I mean? I think he kind of dropped the ball a little bit. It's not a horrible album, like I said. The verses from the rappers are still, good enough. You know what I mean? I think he chose good features, but they didn't mesh well with the music. But the singing saved the album. You know what I mean? So if I was to give this album a grade, just in my opinion, I say, don't get mad at me, Snoop, but I'd give it a C minus. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. I thought you could have did a better job, especially with what you had. You had Fab and Dave East on the track. I'm not saying Fab is old school, but old and new. Then you had Method Man and Redman. That was supposed to be some classic stuff. And not to say their verses weren't classic again, but the sound with it, I wasn't feeling it. And Benny and Jadakiss, they you could tell they meshed well together, but you should have been smart enough to, get Busta Rhymes off that track. That's just my opinion. Not to say Busta's whack or something. I just didn't think his energy matched with that. So with all that being said and everything that went down, putting that album together, I would give it a C minus. I wouldn't give it a D. You know what I mean? It's more of a C than a D, but it's like in the middle of that. So I would give it a C minus. You know what I mean? Just in my opinion for that album. So with that being said, we going to get into the second album I'm going to rate. It came out the same day, 19th of November of this year. Jedi Mind Trix. The group came out with an album, man. I thought it was pretty dope, man. You know what I mean? I always thought Jedi Mind Trix, I guess I don't know what they got going together, but with Vinny and, all the people that make the beats and all of that, they got a good thing going. So with that being said, I like to get into the criteria for that. The lyrics for this album, in my opinion, coming from Vinny for sure, were A1. You know what I mean? A1. I think he's kind of always came with A1, but to come with them A1 this late in his career, I thought, that was pretty dope. The beats, oh my God. I want to throw the beats and the vibe of the beats with his lyrics, it was like, oh my gosh, it was like he coming with them A1 lyrics, and it was like they knew exactly what beats and the vibe to go with what he was saying. It was a melodic album, man. It was like, just think about an album that is lyrical, but the music at the same time takes you to another realm. You know what I mean? Pretty dope. I thought the album was dope. The features were the downfall of the album. I think I forget what he had one feature as far as like somebody on the hook that was kind of dope. You know what I mean? But the features that he featured rappers on his album, I didn't really like his features at all. I'm gonna be honest. And maybe I'm gonna just say this. Maybe I didn't like the features and thought they were trash because he killed them on every song that he had a feature. Like any rapper that was on a song with him on his album, he slaughtered. You know what I mean? So that could be it, but I kind of didn't like his features. As far as the features that he featured that rapped with him, I didn't really like his features at all. I'm gonna be honest. And I want to say this because Jedi Mind Trix, that group puts you in the, I would say, like lyrical underground street rap is more like the genre that they're in. And it was like they made this album so dope. It's cause all you hear right now, not saying all you hear, but I would say the ones that are at the top of the food chain as far as, you know, notoriety and sales and stuff like that is the Young Thugs, the Lil Babies. I feel as though he made with this album, if you listen to it, this is just my opinion, he made that genre relevant again. Like, you know what I mean? If y'all take a listen to this album, man, it's so dope. He made that genre relevant. I mean, not to say that genre isn't relevant, but I'm saying the way he did it and the music they put together, it's up there with the little, it should be getting the recognition as like Lil Baby and Young Thug and them. He made that genre relevant again with this album. Like, and I don't mean relevant, I mean like relevant as far as should be at the top of the game. You know what I mean? To listen to. That's just my opinion. And I would say my favorite songs on the album, man. I had put it like this. I liked all the songs on the album. So like that's like another thing like what I said about the other album. I think it was 17 songs on the album. I loved 15 and tolerated 2. It wasn't even like I didn't like the 2. I tolerated them, you know what I mean? But 15 I love, but I would say like some favorite songs I liked on the album were, I liked The Escapist, I liked it The Chariot, and I liked it Albatross. Now I liked it 15 of those songs, but I'm just saying the ones that really, really stuck out to me, I love those songs, you know what I mean? I loved all 15. It was like 2 I tolerated, but for the most part, his album was pretty dope, man. And I would say the songs very well meshed together. You know what I mean? Like song after song, you wondering what you gonna get next, and it's just vibe after vibe, bar after bar. I think he killed it, man. Especially for somebody, and it happens a lot of times when people are in the game so long. You know what I mean? They kind of lose it, or they kind of try to keep up with the time so much that they don't know which way to go. And sometimes it would be confusing, like the album will be confusing or the music will be confusing. That is not the case with this album. This album is pretty dope, man, like I keep saying. And definitely, I mean, anybody who listens to Jedi Mind Trix definitely knows them for originality. So this album was all that to me. Very original, very vibey, bar after bar lyrically, and it definitely meshed well together. The only thing that I don't like as far as originality about this album is I've never liked his voice. I'm gonna be honest. Vinny, he got a, you know what I mean? But his bars will make you forget about his voice. You know what I mean? His bars will make you forget about his voice. You know what I mean? But I would have to say, like, I've never really liked his voice, but man, this album was so dope. Man, listen, like I told you, I'm coming out with my own awards at the end of the year, and I'm telling you right now, I don't want to give away what I really think about all the music I've heard, but I will say this. I just throw this little hint in there. This album, in my opinion, in my awards, could make album of the year. It's definitely, in my opinion, right now, you know what I mean? The year isn't over. It's definitely, in my opinion, right now that this is the best lyrical album of the year for sure. You know what I mean? As far as I heard so far. So with that being said, you know, for a fair grade, I didn't like the features. I tolerated 2 songs. I give this album an A-. And the only reason why I give it that is because of the features. You know what I mean? But I could not give this album anything below an A. Like to give it a B+, to give it a B++ will be blasphemy. You know what I mean? So shout out to Jedi Mind Trix. Shout out to Benny, man. I said Benny. Vinny. You still barring off like you're young. You know what I mean? Shouts out to Philly. You know what I mean? Philly representing with this album, man. So with that being said, these are the 2 albums I rated. You know what I mean? Holla at me if you think different. Go listen to both of these albums. Go check them out. Holla at me. Share this video. Hit that like button. You know what I mean? Hit that comment section too, man. Let me know what you feel about my ratings. Let me know what you feel about just anything. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you're a new artist, hit me up. And please, y'all, please subscribe to my channel. I need 1,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? Just holla at me, man. It's your boy Jooce Bundles, the sound of hip hop, Jooce's ratings. You know what I mean? Let me know. I'm coming out, like I said, in a few days, I'm coming again with the Tears of Rap, the second episode. You know what I mean? I'll have more of the popular artists again. I'll be rating their albums. I'm sorry, I'm not rating their albums, but putting them on a tier and letting you know what I feel about their bar for bar skills for their whole career. So let me know what it is. It's your boy Jooce Bundles. This is the sound of hip hop, and we out.